Alright, boys and girls, so today we're going to start with area and circumference of circles. Um, so this is your warm-up. What is the diameter of a circle with a circumference of 47.1? So I'm going to give you a quick heads up. That means you have to work backwards. You're solving for the unknown. So it wants to know what is the diameter. Okay? So you know that your formula is C equals pi times diameter. Okay, so now you're going to substitute. It gives you the circumference, and their circumference is 47.1. So you would have 47.1 is equal to pi, which is 3.14 times diameter. So you're going to solve for the unknown, which is our variable, d. So go ahead and finish solving it out. Okay, that's your warm-up. So hopefully you have finished your warm-up. Um, and if you're wondering where to work your warm-up out, it'll be on the back. You can work it out on the back of your note paper. Um, so like I said in the beginning, today you are going to be working with circumference and area of circles. But before we go any further, I want to go back to this slide to the first slide from yesterday. So the subset some of y'all were confused on um, the video because it said the diameter was 12 and the radius should have been 6. I wonder if she meant this one. I'm not sure. I didn't go back and watch the video from yesterday. But in case I made a mistake on this one, yes, you would have had to divide your diameter by 2. So your radius would have been 7, which I think I did that in the video. But in case I did it, so you had to find, remember WTF, write the formula, substitute, and solve. So your formula was A equals pi r squared. So it tells us here that for pi we're using 22/7. And then our r squared would be our radius, which would be half of 14, which was 7. So it would be 7 squared. And then you would solve it. I want to say I did that. So I don't know exactly which one she was talking about because she says 12 and then she told y'all it was 6. Um, if the one y'all were confused, the only one I see that says 12 is this one. This is the radius because it's only going, yes, the measurement is in the middle of the circle, but if you see the line is only going from the center to the edge. So this was your radius. You didn't have to divide. This was your radius already. Okay? In case this is the one that y'all were confused on, this is your radius. You did not have to divide. Yes, the number, like I said, the number is in the middle and not just above the line. But if you look, the line only goes from the center of the circle to the edge. Okay? All right. So we're going to go ahead and continue with today's lesson. So go ahead and go to the front of your paper. And the first thing you have is vocabulary. And you have room to write these on your notes. So it's a circumference is the distance around a circle. So remember, for circumference, you have a circle and the distance around the circle is what is circumference. So just as a reminder, you can draw a circle and with the highlighter, highlight the edge. And then for area, it says area is the space within the circle. So With area, remember you have a circle and it's the space within the circle. In is important for you to know. It's inside your circle. So area is the inside of your circle. Like I said, in, um, and circumference is the part that goes around. Okay. So moving on to the first we do. Okay. It says Maria outlined a circle with a diameter of 42 millimeters 3 times. What is the distance Maria's pencil traveled? So let's go ahead and let's say she has a circle and it says Maria outlined. So if she outlined it, are we looking for area or circumference? Okay. So if you said circumference, that's right, because if she outlined it, that means she traced the edge, right? Whenever you're coloring, you outline maybe in marker. Okay, so that's just the part around the circle. So she outlined the circle, and it says the circle has a diameter of 42 millimeters. If you look, I boxed in outline because that's the one that tells us we are looking for circumference. Okay. And here it's important to note that she did it 3 times. Okay. What is the distance Maria's pencil traveled? Okay. And it says to use 22/7 for pi. So we're going to go ahead and set it up. Remember, WTF SS. So write the formula. So we said circumference. What is our formula for circumference? Well, we have diameter, which is another keyword, because that tells us what formula we're going to use. Since we're working with diameter, that means we're going to use our formula, C equals pi times diameter. Okay? So now you would substitute, right? So what am I substituting? Well, I'm looking for circumference because it says, okay. And then it says for pi to use 22/7. Sorry, I don't know why my handwriting is kind of crooked. Times the diameter, which is 42. Okay. So remember we have a fraction times a whole number. So we're going to put our whole number above 1 to make it a fraction. And now we're just going to multiply top with top. Okay. But remember, when we have our fraction, remember I told you the number you're giving to use, whether it's diameter or radius, is always going to be a multiple of 7, so you can cross simplify. So I can simplify both of these by 7. They're both factors of 7. So 7 divided by 7 is 1. 42 divided by 7 is 6. So now I can just multiply 22 times 6 and 1 times 1. So let's go ahead and multiply 22. I don't know why I put a bar under it. Sorry, guys. So 22 times 6. Okay. Whatever that gives you, that's your answer for circumference. But are you done? No, it tells you that she outlined the circle 3 times. So if she outlined the circle 3 times, that means you have to take this and multiply it by 3. Okay. So whatever you get here, you're going to bring it down here and then multiply by 3. All right. So finish that up. Then you are going to do this you do. So go ahead and pause your video, complete this you do, and then come back. Okay. All right, so you're back this from this, and you should have completed this you do. It says Gerald went on vacation and took a walk each day around Lawson Park for some exercise. The park is a large circle and has a radius of 1.5 miles. Sorry. If Gerald walked around the park each morning for 4 days, what is the total distance he walked? So we're going to underline our question. What is the total distance he walked? Right? And it says each day around. If it's around, that's our keyword. Okay. And then it says it has a radius. So again, that's a keyword because that tells you what formula to use of 1.5 miles. So that's an important number. And then our other important number would be 3.14 because that's the number we're using for pi. And you also need to know 4 days. So if he walked around, were you doing circumference or area? Okay, if you said circumference, you are correct. Oh, sorry guys, I'm trying to write with my mouse. Okay, let me fix that because it doesn't right way I wrote it. I was writing on my mouse. Okay, so yeah, so you should have been finding circumference. Okay, and it gave you radius, so that told you what formula to use. So remember, you have to do WTF, write the formula, substitute, and solve. So for the formula, if you have radius, you should have done C equals 2 pi r. Okay, I'm not going to go any further on that because you should have already solved it. This is just to make sure you use the correct information. Okay, and remember, if it wants to know what is the total distance he walked after 4 days, remember you had to take your circumference and multiply it by 4. Okay, so you had to make sure you did that. So whatever you got for your circumference, you had to multiply by 4. All right. All right, moving on to this we do. Sorry. It says Leah covered a tablecloth with sequins. If the diameter of the tablecloth is 6 feet and sequins cost $1.75 per square foot, about how much will the sequins cost to cover the tablecloth? Okay, so she is covering, if she covered, this is your keyword, and then you have diameter, so that's another keyword. It's 6 feet, and that sequence costs $1.75 per square foot. That's another keyword. Okay, it says about how much will the sequence cost to cover the tablecloth. So first of all, do you know what shape this is that we're talking about? Okay. If you said a circle, you are correct, and you know it's a circle because it says diameter, and so diameter only applies to circles. Okay, and it says our diameter is 6, and if they covered it, that means you are finding area. So we're gonna go ahead and write WTF for our area. We're gonna substitute and solve. Okay, so go ahead and write your formula for this and substitute. All right, so the formula you should have used was the area formula. So you should have A equals pi r squared, because if it's covered, that means we are looking for area. And we said diameter tells you that it is a circle. So I don't know why my writing's going crooked. Sorry, guys. Let me go ahead and rewrite this part so that it's not um, lopsided. So we have WTF, and we said that our formula was A equals pi r squared. And so we're going to substitute. So A equals, and it tells us here that for pi we're using 3.14. So we have 3.14, our radius. So it gives us diameter. Remember we said radius is from the center of the circle to the edge. So half of your diameter. So what's half of the diameter? Half of 6. Okay, if you said 3, that is correct. So because 6 divided by 2 equals 3. Okay. So 3 squared. So now you would solve, and you would take 3.14 times 9, because 3 squared, remember, is 3 times 3. Okay? So that's 9. So you're going to solve that. Okay? And it wants to know the cost. So of the square foot of the sequence. And here it tells you square foot Sorry, guys. Okay, so this was another sign or indicator that you were looking for area. Okay, square foot, because remember, area is always measured in squared feet. So square foot is area. Okay, so when you find the area, so let's go ahead and multiply 3.14 times 9. So 9 times 4 is 36. Carry your 3. 9 times 1 is 9. Plus 3 is 12. Carry your 1. 9 times 3 is 27. Plus 1 is 28. So that is your area, 28.26. Okay, but you are not done. It wants to know how much the sequence costs. So that means you're going to take 28.26 and multiply it by 1.75. Okay, so go ahead and do that. All right, and when you multiply those two numbers, you should have got 49.455. But remember, because it is talking about money, you only go two numbers behind the decimal. So it should be 49.46. Okay, we are talking about money, so money only goes two numbers. I'm sorry about that. I hope you were able to hear me. So because we are talking about money, you do have to round only two numbers behind the decimal. Okay, money, we do not have anything smaller than cents, so it should only go one number behind the decimal. All right, so this is your you do. So you're going to do this one on your own. You do example 4. What is the area of a round table with a diameter of 6 feet? Okay, so your keyword is area, and it gives you diameter. Okay, so remember your formula for area is A equals pi r squared. So what do you remember? You're going to have to do something with this diameter. Okay, don't forget. So you're going to solve that one, and then you're going to continue on with your independent practice. Okay, you're going to work quietly. If you have questions, ask your right-hand partner. Okay, so the person sitting to the right of you. If you don't have somebody sitting to the right of you, ask the teacher who you can ask for help. Okay, make sure you use your reference chart on your independent practice, and make sure you are using WTF, substitute, and solve on each one of those problems. I am going to be looking for this. If you do not have this, you do not get full credit for the problem. Okay, so you need to make sure you have this for each independent practice problem. Please be on your best behavior for Ms. Campos. Okay, she has my cell phone number, so she will let me know if you are misbehaving. Okay, and I am on campus, so I can pop back into class if I need to. All right, have a good day.